All right.
Hello, folks. Sorry, this thing does not chime anymore, so you just thinking you're on, or maybe you're not on air. We are looking at Piraat tonight. Now, I don't know where Eric Fraunfelter is with Massachusetts Beer Reviews, but he is the instigator of this entire episode. He wanted to do a video about Piraat. I said, okay, let's do it. Now, I admit I got confused with the time. We are an hour late. But supposedly, you're telling me, guys, that he got tickets to a hockey game.
That's what I seen on the message.
Oh. So you're telling me you're going to give up hanging out another beer examination that we have worn out. We have worn this out to no end. You're going to give this up to go to a major league NHL National Hockey League game because you got a free ticket. Oh, okay. I see how it works. I see how it works now. People sacrifice
Hi, Jay.
beer examinations to go to hockey games. Hey, Michael. Oh,
How are you?
live from Brooklyn, New York, we have Michael Komarov. Michael, I welcome you so much, and I'm so sorry I got confused on the time. That is my fault.
I thought you wanted to watch the NCAAs. That's why I thought you wanted to do it at 5 and not 6.
Yeah, right. It's like, you know, what's going on around here? But everything threw me off because it started last night with an event getting pushed back an hour, and then it like threw me all wacky, and I apologize. And I hope I'm not holding you up. And if you do have to leave, don't feel embarrassed.
No problem. Is everybody opening their beers?
Yes.
Jay, I don't necessarily have this beer, but I do have a Belgian red ale.
You know what?
That's fabulous. I want to introduce everybody. Look, enough rant and rave with Jay. Look, Michael, I want to introduce y'all to Michael. Michael lives in New York, in Brooklyn, and he helped me out because last year I got lost in Brooklyn. You remember that, Michael?
Yes.
And I didn't know where I was. I had a general idea, but he helped me get to his house. We did a fabulous beer hangout. Don't you think it was fabulous?
It was fabulous. With Doug also, who I've been doing other ones since, too.
Then Michael and Doug became really good friends, and they've been doing hangouts. And y'all might know Douglas as Giant Space Monkey. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Doug.
49 years young.
Now, I thought he was 48.
I'm almost sure.
I thought he was born the same year I was born. Oh, well.
Lots of smoke from this one.
Now, Michael, me and you met because you watched my videos, correct?
Correct.
And then we found out that we had a common, I wouldn't say political connection, haha, but a common beverage connection, right?
Correct. We were both beer aficionados.
And I want to introduce Michael Komarov to everybody. Everybody, this is Michael. He is a big-time beer enthusiast.
Hello, everybody.
Cheers.
I have my Chimay glass. It's not a Piraat glass.
That's all right. So welcome, Michael. So we have myself in Louisiana. We have Eric Anderson in California. We have John Sharon in Zone 1 Beer Reviews in Indiana. We have Michael Komarov, who I hope this is not the last time he joins us. And I thank you again for inviting me to your house. That was such a wonderful time. I'll never forget it.
We had a great time. And you saw the Met no-hitter against the Giants at night, too.
Then I go to a game that night and see a no-hitter. And I got a ticket and a great seat for $10, but that's another story. So then we got Jordan here from Alberta, Canada. So this is truly a widespread festival, and we're going to go fast because the NCAA Final Four is on. I don't really care who wins, but I do know that Syracuse is in it, and that's a big thing in New York, and I can understand. And Eric can't join us because he went to the NHL, and that's understandable. All right. John.
Yes.
I remember reading somewhere, and I think I could be confused, but I believe Piraat came out around 1982. It's not really old, is it?
Me? I don't think we can get that beer around here.
Piraat?
Yeah.
You remember it used to have like a cartoon guy on it. You've never seen this?
No.
Wow.
It says since 1784 on the bottle.
Yes. Now I know that brewery has been in operation that long, and it's under multiple owners. But I don't think that these Belgian beers, like the ones we're talking about, the Bornum, the Piraat, the Guldendrak, I don't think those have been around that long. Because I was reading about a lot of these Belgian companies, and you know, back up until the 1950s, in some cases the 1980s, do you know what these companies were selling? Lagers. You know, like the Budweiser of Europe, different variations of that. But they found out that there was a better niche by producing exquisite Belgian beers. And now, look what they're celebrated for. John Sharon, if you come down to Louisiana, you have got to buy a 6-pack of this stuff. They've got 6 different beers in it for $17.99.
Is that the one you posted on my beer thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get some out here next week and a half.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And they're all like 11% alcohol. Well,
This one is 10.5.
yeah, well, I'm rounding up. But
Mostly, if you know, I mean, I've got this Belgian amber ale here I'm drinking now, but a lot of times we're drinking beers like that. We're mainly looking at Cantillons and stuff. It's mainly the big beers that we drink.
those sours.
Yeah.
Do you get Rodenbach too?
No, I've never seen that.
That's another sour from Belgium.
Yeah.
Really, really nice stuff. Aroma.
Mm-hmm.
And Maria says she might be watching us. Michael,
One second.
you're new to our group, so you go first.
I'll call you back, okay? I'm doing something. I'll call you back. My mother. But that's the way it goes. Talk to her later.
That's the way it goes, buddy. Hey, we live a regular life. We just do irregular things sometimes. Hey,
Yeah.
Mike.
Has anybody smelled it yet?
No, you're new to the group, so I want you to. I'm going to turn the floor over to you because you're new to the group. Have you had this beer before?
No.
Okay.
It's my first time.
And Michael is always posting pictures of beers that he's drinking on my Facebook page. And
I've had other Belgian beers, a lot of other Belgian beers, but I've never had this one before.
I had the Piraat. Okay, so go ahead and you give us your aroma and flavor and your overall assessment of it. We're not going to.
It's kind of like other Belgian beers, and it's yeasty. You get that yeast smell in the first, nose hit that you get, like a malt sweetness, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a sip.
All right. It's got an orange appearance, huh?
I like the taste of it.
Hey, hold up your glass. It's kind of orangey looking, huh?
But there's a little haze in it. It's not
Yeah.
totally clear to the light.
Yeah, I shook the sediment and poured it in, and it put in some film. Okay, I'll shut up.
No, it's okay. You're getting a nice on the outside. It shows you how when you're doing things, you draw a quick blank. But you're getting nice head retention on the side. And that's me. Did I just fade out? I'm still back. Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
Lacing is what I was looking for as the
Oh, the lacing is incredible.
What
Yeah.
do you think of the taste, Jay?
Well, I'm going to comment, but I'm going to, while you're reflecting upon it, I'm going to turn it over to Jordan, and then John, John's observing, sorry, and then Eric. So, Jordan, you start talking. Now, Jordan has an interesting one. He has the triple hop, and I want to add some things about that. Like, for one thing, the triple hop blew up on me and exploded all over my carpet, but, Jordan, what do you think about the triple hop?
It's very similar. I haven't drank it yet, but the aroma is very similar to the Piraat that I drank on your channel a couple days ago. But it's got a lot more of a tart kind of pear, kind of a Granny Smith apple kind of aroma going on. Yeah, I mainly get Granny Smith apple, and the other one I got more of a peachy apricot-y taste. This one's more tart fruit. Still light fruit, but has that slight differentiation, you know, or differs a little bit.
Differentiation and
Yeah.
and I was drinking that this morning, and I really did pick up as it developed. Like I was drinking through the beer, I started picking up on a noticeable bitterness, but I couldn't make heads or tail of it. It wasn't piney and it wasn't floral. It was some other kind of bitterness that I couldn't even describe. And Eric, you can start chiming in from California. Welcome, Eric from California. I just couldn't make heads or tail of the beer, although I knew I loved it.
Yeah, there's a lot to try and grab there. It's definitely not the kind of beer that's one note. It's definitely extremely complex. It's one of the more malty, like anything has ever called itself an IPA. This is definitely on the I guess it's not calling itself an IPA. It's calling itself a dry hopped ale. But I thought on the beer advocate website it did call itself an IPA. But it is rather malty. You do kind of get a bitter flavor, but it's not like almost any. Yeah, they call it a Belgian IPA. That's right.
I think the bitterness is almost like the bitterness of like a fruit skin, kind of like almost tannic, like a wine almost.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you in that it is more tart than the original, the typical Piraat.
Yeah, and I was writing this down earlier today. The triple hop, they use 4 different hops 3 times. And the hops are Saz, Tetra, Aurora, and the dry hop is Cascade. So it's really it's something else. But now the Piraat, the regular Piraat, they don't list the ingredients. But it's obviously, to me, and Michael, you probably noticed this. Don't you think, Michael, there's probably more than just one type of hop?
Probably, at least a couple, for sure. But I got the same kind of feeling about this that who's the person who, let's see, who had the Piraat and had the review on your site, but is drinking the...
Me.
Jordan.
Okay. I agree with the peach and apricot, because it seems like you're getting fruit flavors, but they're not, they're kind of together with the malt.
Yeah, peach.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even more so than peach, I think it has a flavor of pears, like those pears that you might bake with.
Yeah, like poached pears, kind of.
Yeah.
Almost kind of, or maybe I'm hallucinating, but almost like a spicy cinnamon, like white pepper kind of thing
That's
going
what I was
on.
about to say. Like when you go to high school and they give you those pears at lunch and they got cinnamon on them.
You know,
Hey, you know what I'm hearing from everybody talking about this beer, and I wish I had. I'm sorry I don't. But I'm just going to chime in here. From what I hear, everybody's beer pretty much exploded on them. I wonder what kind of yeast that they're using in this, because I'm hearing people talk about the winey notes in this beer and the other beer. I wonder if it's more of like a champagne type yeast, where it's really, when you pop the cork off of it, the lid off of it, it's really.
I want to let you in.
Lots of these Belgian breweries, they pass down kind of like family yeasts,
Audrey,
stuff
give
like
Monty
that.
his mail.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute Michael for a
Give
moment.
Monty his mail.
Oh, yeah, Mati. We hung our way. That's all right, Michael. I muted you for a moment while that was going on. You can unmute it in a minute. Yeah, Mati, he's from Israel, and he was really interested in these beers. But, John, what you're saying, well, they have a beer called Guldendrak, and they add wine yeast to the secondary fermentation.
Okay.
And I think
That might be.
they might do that with all of these. And, Johnny Francione, who has the Global Beer Network, he describes all these as barley wines. I mean, hell, these are 10.5% alcohol. These are not a joke.
Yeah, it is the traditional sense of a barley wine. It was beer in the strength of wine,
Yeah, and it's like Guldendrak 9000, Piraat Triple Hop. It's like the same beer in a way, but presented slightly different. I don't know if you agree with that. It's like 4 different little ways of looking at the same general product. That's the way I perceive it. Now, I don't claim to have any kind of expertise.
I think what they do with the lots of Belgian breweries, they keep the same yeast in the family for generation after generation, and that's why same recipe, just different yeasts can turn out so different. You know.
So that's a major part of it.
Yeah. I can't explain it greatly because I don't have biggest knowledge of Belgian yeast, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and I have a lot of viewers that can take me to task, and they can teach me a lot of things about beer up and down the line. And I always tell them, well, I appreciate your help because some of these viewers, man, they are like scientists. So when you get on the internet and you start talking like you know something, they will let you know very quickly that you don't really know a whole lot. You can taste it and talk about what it tastes like, but when you start trying to talk science, you better go back to college and get a bachelor's degree in biological fermentation science, or you need to get out of the room. That's the way I feel about it. I feel pretty intimidated, but I'm admitting it. I'm admitting that these people know a lot more about it than me.
Yeah.
You should just be able to tell them what you're tasting and what you're feeling when you're going through the beer. And some of these people are being hypocrites when they play it. You know, they know more, and they should not be laying it on you because you're either a novice or somebody who maybe just started drinking that beer style.
Right, but I'm talking about the people that come to me and they give me commentary which is respectful and it's knowledgeable. And I said, look, I appreciate you telling me these things. I'm not like thin-skinned, like, well, who are you? You know, like, oh, I'm gonna block you. And no, these are people that are like really into it. They're into the hobby and they want to talk about it. But they'll point out things like, well, I think you're incorrect in this area, and then they'll explain why. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't start to comment with, "Hey, idiot," you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Eric, you said you were picking up some minty flavor, and I do that. I also pick up some menthol.
Yeah.
I got it a lot more in the Piraat original than the triple hop, but yeah, a tinge, just slightest amount.
I'm sorry, Eric, you were about to talk.
I haven't drank the original Piraat in a few years, but in this one right now, I'm really noticing the mintiness. I mean, you were saying that the pear flavor was more in the Piraat, but I actually do, even though I think this is rather tart, I do get kind of a pear flavor out of this. And I mean, really, it's the backbone is the malts, and then the yeast underneath that, and then you do get I mean, the hops are just kind of pushed to the side a little bit for the triple hop. I mean, the thing is that I think that the hops are played just right for the beer. I think the hops really transform the flavor of the beer, but I think a lot of people who might expect it to be more bitter, and it's not necessarily bitter at all. It is rather sweet as well, but I think you can taste I mean, they kind of the Cascade hops have that almost like piney flavor to them. But I mean, I think the hops definitely add in shape and are really almost more the crux of this beer than initially expected. But it is not at the same time like extremely bitter or in the way most people expect an IPA to be.
Yeah, and if somebody was coming into this with a hophead attitude, that's going to disappoint them, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But
But if you're coming into this wanting to get a major league alcohol attack with big time malt sweetness and a bold hop balancing presence, I think this is really going to impress you.
I'd have to drink this side by side with the Piraat, but I might prefer this over the Piraat because it is maybe a little bit better balanced away from the malt, a little bit with the hops.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts? Like Michael in Brooklyn, New York, what is your final assessment, and would you buy it again?
I would buy it again, even though I got this special deal when this store went out of business. I think it was like $20, and I got it for 10. This, this size, which is the
big bottle.
Big bottle. But it was like $20, and I got it for 10 when the store went out of business. And with Belgian beers that are higher alcohol, you can keep them for a long time. Because they just keep well. I think, and I didn't try the triple hop one, so I'd have to try that too to see. I think this is extremely complex in the way the malts and the yeast and everything is put together. And I definitely would try it again if I could find it. I don't know how easy it'd be to find another one now.
Well,
it should be fairly easy to get.
Right.
You live in New York, right?
We can get most everything, it seems, here, except we have some trouble getting some stuff, but we get a lot of stuff here.
I would guess that you could probably get it very easily. And if you look up on the internet on the Global Beer Network, that should be able to help you track it down. But
I'm sure it's available someplace.
Yeah, in this video, we're just rushing through it and saying, oh, blah, blah, blah. This is the kind of beer where you really have to spend a lot of time. So we're doing it a disservice. In my opinion, you might not agree, but I think everybody does. So Michael would buy it again. Jordan, what about you? Up there and reviewing Under Influence.
Well, I think it's a really easy drinking beer for its strength. It's a light-bodied. It's got that crisp, tart, and sweet fruit. Nice breadiness to it. And, just really not much alcohol flavor at all, if any. And I think that's really hard to do in lighter-bodied 10% beers, It's really difficult to do. It's a really well-brewed beer, and, I'd definitely buy it again. Fairly cheap, too. Compared to lots of stuff out here, it's a lot cheaper than most. So, awesome stuff.
You're saying these beers are 10.5%, and the alcohol's that well hidden in them? That must be a pretty nice beer.
Oh man, it's like birthday cake, but you'll stand up and hit the floor.
John, you've had Duvel. I mean, Duvel does the same thing. I mean, it's the same. Honestly, I think. I mean, Duvel is better. I would rather drink Duvel than the triple hop.
Duvel's also 8.5%. So
it's a little bit. It's not as strong.
Quite a bit lower in alcohol.
Yeah, I've had Duvel numerous times. I really enjoyed it. I actually went to a Duvel tasting the other day and got some glasses. So,
Jay, what would you say I know there's a Chimay. What color? The blue one? They have a higher alcohol one that might be comparable to this Piraat.
Yeah, the Chimay Grand Reserve, the blue cap, yep. But it's darker. That Chimay is a lot darker. To me, this is coming across like a Tripel, man.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a quad.
No. Eric, your final assessment, and would you buy it again?
I feel... I mean, it's not a bad beer. Definitely for the alcohol percentage, it's very drinkable. It's you know what? I just feel like I would probably rather drink a Duvel or Duvel, however you say that, and maybe even a Chimay Grand Reserve. It's a little bit. It's an IPA, but it's a little bit sweet, and the sweetness kind of inherent. Like there's almost like kind of candy sugars that just kind of like that. Kind of thing, just I don't know, it turns me off. I don't really like beer. That's why I don't really like Golden Rock either, because I find Golden Rock to be a little bit too sweet for my taste as well.
You're a hophead, eh?
Well, not necessarily that I'm a hophead. I'm almost saying that I would. There's other like I think Duvel is not as sweet, and I think I prefer that. I prefer the flavors of Duvel over this, but I mean you are sacrificing a little bit of alcohol content as well when you're doing that. Just that it just doesn't quite totally hit the mark, and I haven't had the original Piraat in a while, but I kind of remember liking it a little bit better than this one as well. I'd have to drink it again to really say that fairly, But my memory of Piraat is that I would rather drink that, actually. I think maybe throwing in the hops was slightly a misstep in a sense, but I mean, having said all that, like, understand this is a very good beer. I would still rate this beer very highly. It's an excellent beer. I mean, I paid $6 for this 11.2 ounce bottle, so for me that's not cheap. You know, I mean, I could almost just spend $2 more and get like a 24 of Sculpin Grapefruit IPA, which I would probably prefer, actually, which is obviously a completely different thing. Like, you got a different mood, completely different experience. But still, having said that, I'd probably rather do that.
Right.
Do
So
you remember the Sculpin grapefruit at our tasting and what you thought?
yeah, that was. I'm always retelling that story.
That would be a good one to look at sometime.
Yeah, I went over to Michael's house and he's like, "Okay, before we start." Now Michael, he was funny. He had a notebook and he wanted me to give him a number. I want a number. I want a number. I was so fascinated by it. But Michael says, first of all, and look, this guy is giving me like multiple major quantities of different beers of mostly all high alcohol. So then he's like, after 3 hours, well, see you later. And I'm like, all right, good.
And he got up and went to the Met game with no problem, which just shows you how tough Jake.
That's right. After like 5 minutes, I was like, all right, Giant Space Monkey, talk to you later. And I went to the Mets game, and I swear I felt like I had not drank any beer. No joke, true story. But anyway, Mike was saying, try this beer. He had like a blind taste test. So I was like tasting it. I was like, man, this beer is awesome. This is a great IPA. I mean, I knew it was an IPA. He was like, but do you notice something funny about it? I was like, no. Well, do you notice any special ingredient? I'm like, no, not really. And he just kept emphasizing that. I was like, no, no, no. So finally he says, well, here's what it is. I said, grapefruit Sculpin. I said, I'd have never guessed. I'm telling you right now, I did not detect grapefruit in it.
Have you ever had that one, Jay?
Michael's a witness. What?
You ever had that one, grapefruit Sculpin?
Yeah, last year in Brooklyn.
Oh, you
Tell
can't
me
get
about the experience.
No, we can't get it in Louisiana.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
That's the best. I mean, the problem with that beer is just it's so expensive, but I mean, it's probably my favorite beer to drink right now. Like, if I could just, if I had
a whole bunch of different ones. They have a watermelon one now, and all these.
yeah,
other...
I don't like any of the other ones as much as the grapefruit because I like the pineapple and stuff is just a little bit too. I think what's the benefit of the grapefruit is that it perfectly complements the beer itself, and like Jay was saying, it complements it so well that I think it is almost kind of, in a sense, it disappears into the beer and just feels such a part of it that it's not noticeable. Most beers that are considered fruity kind of smash you over the head with that fruity flavor, and that doesn't do it. It's using the grapefruit to complement the beer in a way that is really excellent. Like, really.
If you taste it side by side with the regular Sculpin, that's when you really can taste the grapefruit.
Right, but I didn't.
We didn't have that.
Michael was just giving me the grapefruit, and I was blown away. I said, I cannot believe that, because I had seen people posting photos of it on Facebook and stuff. So then when I came to New Orleans, I was back in New Orleans a month later, somebody had some more grapefruit Sculpin, and it was the same thing. It does not. It's like Eric saying. It does not stand out. They meld those two things together so well. Well, anyway,
that habanero Sculpin's freaking rough.
You know what I got?
I'm from Louisiana. I can take rough, hot stuff.
Hey Jay, have you drank the Crime or Punishment? There are two beers that were both put out by Stone that were adaptations of An Arrogant Bastard, but they were they had like serrano peppers and other peppers as well added to them, so they're like really spicy. They have this incredible bite, and there's Crime, which is spicy, and then Punishment, which is really spicy. So of course I got Punishment, and it's a very high alcohol content.
Well, to tell you the truth, I never even heard of those.
Dude. I saw it was expensive. It was, cork style, like a lot of the Belgians, but it was like $16 for that 24 ounce. But it was interesting. It was really good, and it's the kind of beer obviously Takes you a minute. You sip on that baby. That's got some pop to it. That beer.
Well, that
Really
sounds cool. I want to try to wrap this up, but I'm going to say there is no doubt I would buy this beer in a hot second. I love Piraat. I love Piraat triple hop. I love Gudendrak 9000, Bornum double, Bornum triple. They are awesome. Are they perfect beers? No. I don't think I scored any of those world class, because world class is like perfect. It's like if you're finding flaws in a world class beer, you're just nitpicking for no reason. So could I find flaws in these? Yeah, but I'm not out there looking for flaws. I'm just looking for awesome beer, and these are it. That's my final word on it. You're only pretty as you feel. You're only pretty as you feel inside. Okay, y'all finish it up.
Okay, I have a question for the group. Has anybody seen the Founders KBS yet, which was released
It's out here.
yesterday?
No.
Have you got any of it yet or seen it?
I just had a Founder's beer the other day, but it wasn't that one. It was an IPA.
Because its national distribution started yesterday, but that just means the distributors have it. It's been available in Michigan already, but it's supposed to be coming out in the next weeks that we're talking about.
I believe I seen a buddy of mine posting on a beer group. It's in Louisville, Kentucky right now. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't get Founders stuff out here, so never tried any of their
Well,
beers.
they're an excellent brewer. You would like them.
You ever get a chance?
Founders just popped up. I've only seen Founders in the last couple weeks. Like, it's only just now showed up around here. But the Founders six-pack that I grabbed was really good.
Oh yeah, they do dynamite work. Dynamite work.
And I know you guys have probably drank the KBS, but there's also one called CBS, which is a phenomenal one. It's Canadian.
That's supposed to be even better, according to a few friends I
That's
have.
the one that's made with maple syrup, but it's sometimes not bottled. You have to go and have it on tap.
Yeah, it's only on tap. It's not in bottles. It's only on tap.
I thought that was a drugstore CVS.
Yeah.
Hey,
I heard CBS. Is it V or B?
C. It's called Canadian Breakfast Stout,
I thought that was a network for news.
and it's only on draft. You'll never see it in the bottle.
And it's awesome.
I'll have to ask the local pub to carry that one.
Well, I would say to anybody, if you're at your house, that would be the best place to drink these kind of beers. Getting out and driving, that would be like the worst thing to do, because they're treacherous. I can't even say the word. They're treacherous.
And like you said, one like this where the alcohol is well masked, you have to be very careful because they'll catch up on you quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, good grief. But they're wonderful. Now, Michael, I appreciate you joining us. I hope you can join us in the future, but there's no pressure to do that. I don't pressure people. I just say, how would you like to join? And a lot of times people say, I would like it. I have a friend, Arthur. You know you're watching probably. He's in Germany. I talk to him all the time. But he's embarrassed to come on here because he speaks German and he feels like he wouldn't be able to communicate so well. I say, Arthur, we're not going to pick on you. Don't feel bad like that. But he feels embarrassed. So he'd rather talk to me on Facebook. But
I'm glad you guys let me hang out with you guys today.
John, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, but I did have a real nice Belgian amber ale while I was sitting there, amber red, and I appreciate you guys for letting me hang out with you.
you're welcome. And what's the name of that beer again? Show it to us again.
This is called a boot tread.
I've never seen that one before.
Probably never will ever.
Yeah, I've never heard of that thing. Well, Jordan, I appreciate you joining us from Western Canada.
I appreciate the invite, man.
Hey, Jordan, nice meeting you, buddy.
See ya.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Yeah, good talking to everybody.
And Michael, thanks for joining us from the Mid-Atlantic, and Eric from the West Coast, and John from just north of the Ohio River in Indiana, and me from Louisiana Beer Reviews. Well, we have, what do we have left, Jordan? We have the Bornum double and triple. And
Yep.
I've got the Gudendrak 9000, but you already drank it, right?
Yeah, I did a side-by-side of the Guldendrachs.
Right. That's where I got confused because I was thinking when I went on to do the setup last night, I was thinking it was the Piraat triple hop and the regular, but that's okay.
Guys, I'm gonna jump off here because I'm getting ready to have a beer tasting. So,
All right, you
Yeah,
take care.
we all getting off. So have a good night, everyone.
Take care,
guys, see
Jay.
you later.
Bye.
All right, and y'all come on down to New Orleans.
A week and a half. And I'll
In
be
Canada.
Yeah, we can have. Come on up to Canada. I've been to Canada. I like Canada. All right.
I'll see you guys
Take
later.
care, Jay.
Okay.
Jay, I'll see you Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah. For old Rasputin of all things.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's a good damn beer.
Ooh.
See you guys later.
Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye. Take care. Oh, I could get into some old Rasputin so seriously.
Oh damn, that's some real shit right there. That's some good beer.
Man, we could get on there with old Rasputin or Schlitz VSL.
What? Listen, I've never drank Schlitz, but why? I don't know. I can't imagine any reason why you're saying that in the same sentence as old Rasputin.
I'm just kidding around. But well, hey, well,
Right.
wait a minute. On the other hand, Schlitz is 8.5% alcohol.
Listen, alcohol content and taste are two separate things.
But a Corolla is a car, and so is a Lamborghini, right? Hey, but
You know what though is that you can drive a Corolla just fine, and Lamborghini doesn't really help you when you got these little things called speed limits. But taste is really important when you're drinking a damn beer. I mean, otherwise, just pound fucking hard alcohol. What's the point anyway? Just drink that shit and just get real faded.
I know I'm just saying all that to set off fireworks.
Sorry, I just turned into a curse bomb right at the end of the video.
Not you. Hey, well, I'm all the time drinking these exotic beers and expensive beers, and then I'll always have to bring up Schlitz high gravity malt liquor because some people, they get so angry, and I can't help it. I have to do it because I never heard of getting angry. I never could understand getting angry about beer.
You know what? That's what I love about you, Jay, man. You've got a really excellent demeanor about the whole situation. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. You always appreciate everyone's point of view. You're totally an open-minded human being, which beyond the beer world just is an important trait as a human being and living in this crazy universe that we exist upon.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
I am a humble person, and I will be the first one to admit that.
Well done. Well done. Cheers.
Thank you, folks. And y'all come on down to California.